What's up, you guys? Back out in the hammock again. Going to talk some Amico. Goodness. Before we get started, though, good news. I'm out of quarantine, so I was able to actually get out back in public and was able to go hit up some yard sales and get some goodies. I was going to show y'all real quick some of the stuff. Picked up a 2001 Space Odyssey VHS tape. I don't know, I'm a weirdo for VHS tapes. And then I saw this one too, man, and I just had to freaking get it. It was $1, which is more than I like to pay. This was like a quarter. But the Mines of Kilimanjaro. It's like this Italian ripoff of Indiana Jones, and I just had to have it. Especially watching like Red Letter Media, like they always do like these reviews of bad movies, and I've kind of gotten into looking for like crap movies. Some other good things too. Picked up a couple PlayStation 2 games, $1 each. I don't pay more than $1 for PlayStation 2 games, but Full Spectrum Warrior and then Rocky Legends. I'm pretty sure this is the game that the nerd did with the glitching. Like it looks like it, like the same face, like the glitch episode where like they. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to reproduce some of those. And then this was a pretty good find. This whole stack of PlayStation 1 games for $2. The whole stack. Crash Team Racing, Rocket Power, Team Rocket Rescue. It looks like that one. Can't remember the name of that show. It's on Nickelodeon. Crash Bandicoot 2 and Spider-Man. I didn't even think about it. Isn't this the one that Tommy Tallarico did the music for Spider-Man? Pretty sure. I can't remember exactly if it's not. Collection of Activision games. These are always kind of fun to have. Stuart Little 2, and then Namco Museum. So yeah. Oh, and then I almost forgot. For $3, I got this bag of action figures. There is a Ghostbusters figure in here, which one I didn't have. And then this is awesome right here. One of the original Tron figures. These things are not cheap. And then there's all sorts of G.I. Joe figures in here, including a Sergeant Slaughter, which I have been looking for one of these. I'm not like a huge G.I. Joe guy. I was never really into it. I mean, I watched it some as a kid. I had friends who were really big into it. I was always more into like the fantasy stuff, like He-Man and Thundercats, shit like that. So G.I. Joe was a little bit too realistic for me, but I still love the toys. Like, I don't really collect them a lot, but there's like all sorts of G.I. Joe toys in here for $3. Like that's a fucking score. I mean, this is probably, I would say, $100 worth of action figures in this bag, because of all the G.I. Joe. But that's for $3. So let's put this away real quick. Let's get started talking some Amico. You know, I got my notes like I do, because that's just the way I roll. But so the big thing that's going around right now, everybody's making videos. Saw Darius made a video last night. Basically the Amico cult on YouTube has, for the most part, abandoned talking about the Intellivision Amico. Retro Bro did his video where he said he's going to be done talking about it. Cyrus Martin a while back said he was done. Turbo Joe hasn't uploaded anything. That Smash JT loser got off of got completely left YouTube, even though he's come back and talking again, but he doesn't seem to be talking about it anymore. I did look up, it looks like Next Level Gaming did a live stream with Geeks with Cash and Panda Sub 2000. It was a 4-hour fucking live stream, and I'm not about to sit through and watch that. It just, no way. I imagine they may have talked about the Amico, because there was a comment that Tommy had posted. He posted in the comments like, "This is great," and Next Level Gaming said, "Thank you, brother Tommy." Like I guess, I don't know if he was just being stupid because of the cult thing, but I don't know. They probably talk about it like that towards each other anyways. But yeah, you know, it's whatever. I guess we won the battle, but I tell you, the war is far from over, because as soon as the Intellivision does something that isn't completely brain dead, they will be back. You know, like they're gonna something. Intellivision will do something kind of slightly positive, and I guarantee you, a lot of these people will jump back on the bandwagon and be like, see, look at the Intellivision is awesome again. Like they're just so defeated right now because of the delays, and more and more people have just jumped online making videos about the Amico. Like, it's so overwhelming that what the fuck are they gonna do? You know, it's like, what can they keep talking about? Oh, the kids are having so much fun playing this. Oh, I'm so excited about the Amico. Like it's fake. It's so fake. And Darius brought this up in his video, and I thought it was a really good point. Retro Bro literally had a fucking live stream called Amico After Dark. They're partly, not partly, but almost all responsible for all this shit that has been going on, you know, talking about the Amico and everything. Like they talked about it for so long that who does a live stream about, literally called Amico After Dark, and they talk about a console that has not even come out yet, that's this little family friendly shit console. Like I can't remember in all the times that I've been watching YouTube, and I haven't really, I have to admit, I've never gotten this deep into a community like I have now, which it's been fun. You know, it's been fun hanging out with you guys and talking and watching each other's videos and, you know, making comments. Like it's been a fun experience for me. But you have to look at the fact that the reason where all of this began was because of how obvious fake it was. Why would people? I can't remember ever seeing a thing like this before, where like a system that was unannounced had so much talk about it, like so much support, like where people were literally like OEBP. He is one that's still going to keep making his videos, even though every Monday they seem to be getting shorter and shorter and like less and less news. Like he's just kind of barely hanging on talking about it. But I mean, he has a video where every Monday he would talk about it and have a stupid countdown. The other guys have had live streams, and it's like they made so many videos about this stupid little system that wasn't even close to being coming out and kept getting delayed. So that right there triggered everybody's bullshit detector, knowing that this isn't normal. This is not the kind of behavior that you would find about some stupid console that isn't going to be coming out. I don't remember seeing anything like this about the Atari, you know, this dumb little Atari VCS console that came out. And, you know, people will sit there and say, well, it's because it's Intellivision. You know, it's like, it's the Intellivision name. We grew up playing Intellivision, so I'm just so excited about it. Like, dude, it's not the fucking same. Okay, maybe they've got a few people that worked for Intellivision, which they set that up on purpose to do that, just so they could try to have some credibility, so that people couldn't say, well, it's not the same Intellivision, because it's not the same fucking Intellivision. Just because you got a few workers who used to work for Intellivision working for you now, like, Mattel has nothing to do with this, so it's not the same. But it's so obvious that Tommy and whoever was involved with the Amico obviously set up for these YouTubers to talk about it. And there's claims that they're on the payroll, which those are funny. You know, it's funny to think about and talk about. Who knows? You know, maybe I still think that they were just sold a shitty bill of goods by a smooth talking con man, Tommy, basically saying, like, obviously, like, they're going to these tiny small YouTube channels and literally, I mean, you can just see like the sales pitch that Tommy does. You know, like I did it. I showed it with that video I made with all the you knows. Like he's full of shit. You know, when he's saying you know. So the guy is a smooth talking salesman, and he obviously got these small channels to buy into the Amico. Like, hey man, we're gonna give you behind the scenes shit, you know, like this thing's gonna be coming out, it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna revolutionize the video game industry, and you guys are gonna be on the ground floor, and your channel's gonna explode, you know, like everyone's gonna fucking love it. like that's what they were sold. They were sold a lie. Like the same thing that's being done to the investors, you know, like not being completely honest with them, and Tommy's really good about getting excited and getting you excited. I mean, he's a I wouldn't call him a psychopath, but he's a freaking sociopath. In my opinion, you know, like that's what I think. But it's like he's good at getting people to like him, and good at getting people to believe in him and his thing, and not really giving a shit about the aftermath, or hey, you know, like I'm gonna get all these people on board, and what if this thing goes sideways? You know, everyone's gonna lose all their credibility. Well, if you're a sociopath, you don't fucking care, man. You don't give a shit about other people and what they think and what's going to happen to them. All that matters is yourself and how good you look, and you'll use whoever you got to get to the top, and that's where we're at now. You know, like these YouTubers have just, I think, come to the realization that you were sold a shitty idea, and the company did not have all of its pieces in order to get the product out. I mean, you know, we kept talking about stupid chip shortage, but obviously the thing is not done. I mean, they had to admit that on the fundables page that, you know, things aren't done. So it's not a chip shortage. It's just an inability to deliver a product. I can just imagine in his mind, he had this whole like elaborate plan to take over the video game industry. He's like, man, I'm going to use YouTube to really like launch it to the top, and have this like get excitement, and everyone's going to love it. Everyone loves me. And it's like, it was too much, man. It was too much. So the after Amico After Dark fucking stream, like it was too much, man. Like everybody was kind of starting to detect, you know, they started to realize that this isn't normal. This is not organic. This is not like people that are just excited for something. There has been something else that has pushed them in the direction to be so excited, you know, and then it became that, you know, it was selling the drama, like, oh, they're haters, you know, like we got to just defend Tommy, like he's one of us, like look, it's like you became close because of you were trying to push this system that really has no reason for you to get excited, other than the fact that it's called a television, which that was the whole point. You know, that was the whole reason that they used the name of television, was to stand on the shoulders of accomplishments that people made a long time ago, and sell you some bullshit now, overpriced bullshit, to try to drum up nostalgia. That's all it fucking was. And everybody soon began to realize that, as like, you know, if like the hadn't been delays and stuff, like you could have got away with this. But the fact that it kept getting delayed and more shady bullshit was coming out, like what was happening, and just Tommy himself being like somebody who can't accept criticism, is always in the chats and comment sections. I mean, people just began to, it got too out of hand for them to be able to control, and that's where this thing has come down. It's not because people are bullies and all this. It's like, no, man, you pushed it too hard, and we're not stupid. People aren't all sheep. We didn't all get the Tommy pitch that you had, and we weren't promised inside access, and that your channel's, you know, ideas that your channel's going to be something more than it really is, you know? Like, you did that, like, you made that choice. Like, I don't want anything like that on my channel, you know? Like, I want to be able to remain objective and not ever feel like I owe somebody something, or, you know, like, what's the fucking point? Like, that's annoying, you know? It's the same way, it's like I wouldn't want to be monetized or anything, because I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want, and I'm not beholden to anyone. But we're going to transition here. This isn't just about another video about the fact that the cult has vanished, because there is still some shilling going on, some hardcore shilling, way more than YouTube ever did, and it's on Atari age. If you're still hard up for some cringy, annoying shill fest, then go check out Atari Age, and then especially check out on Reddit. The funniest shit, like some really good stuff, is the r/Intellivision_Amico group, or whatever you call it on Reddit. I don't know how community. And I've referenced them before, but I've never actually listed out like what the name is. So if you know, I'm sure a lot of you are already over there. I know Tony from Geek Getaway posts a lot over there, and I've posted a couple things. My name is Manny Grade. I don't even know how the fuck I got that name. It just was given to me, and I tried to change my name to Days Gaming, but it won't let me. But this is where the war is happening right now. It's at Atari Age, where basically they've let Tommy, it seems like they've let Tommy just kind of take over, and they've given him a place where he can just like spout all this bullshit, and anyone that tries to criticize him, he can just like call them haters and pretend like that there's like this fucking organized group to try to take them down, which I'm sorry, dude, nobody fucking cares that much to try to take you down. It's just, we see the bullshit, and we're not just going to let you have your fucking way and try to make it your narrative only. Like, that was the whole point. I even started making YouTube videos because of the narrative that was on YouTube. But obviously we've put a stop to that, you know, like all of us kind of teaming up, and Pat and Ian were the first ones to really kind of talk about it, and then the real fight was being done in the trenches in these smaller channels, and you know, we all stepped up, and I think we should be proud of what we've accomplished. We were able to help change the narrative and make it a more fair and even discussion, where it wasn't just so one-sided. But anyways, I'm going to talk about a couple of threads and stuff that I've seen over at there, and I'm not going to go too in depth into them. I invite you to go over there and check them out. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff to delve into, and people are always coming up with new little things that they're finding, and it's interesting. But there was one post called "The Boy is Crying Wolf Again. Tom is in rare form," and it shows I didn't write down who posted that, so I do apologize. But there is a guy. It shows a conversation that was being done, a thread on Atari Age, and there was this guy named Lusorius who simply just asked a question. He said, well, why can't you just simply explain what things have to be finished in the back end? It's a fair question, especially if this is coming from somebody, you know, who is considering pre-ordering or has pre-ordered, or even if they haven't. You know, it's a fair question, because it's a product that you, Tommy, you and television, y'all have produced for the world. So you need to understand that people are going to ask you questions. Just seems normal to me that would be the case. But oh no, we're not allowed to ask questions, because then Tommy replies, hey there, you never answered my questions. Do you condemn folks who bully and harass people because they like Amico? Do you condemn those threads I posted yesterday? I'm not sure what he posted. I didn't go that deep into it. Like I said, go check it out. And he says, what are your favorite Amico games? What are you looking forward to? What are your thoughts about the recent Crayola video? Have you signed up to our mailing list? Like, what kind of fucking annoying bullshit response is that? You know, like the guy literally asked a question, and it's on this, it's, the thread has been changed. Like at one time it was just like discussions about Amico. Now it's like been changed to some kind of cringe, like only fun Amico conversations, where literally like the moderators have, I'm surprised they even allowed that question on there. Like maybe they're not as, maybe they're kind of wising up a little bit. I don't know, but because I know for the longest time, a lot of people have been complaining how it's been like any kind of criticism. Like basically Tommy has carte blanche to just be able to be like, delete that, delete that, delete that. At least that's how it seems. And these moderators are basically just allowing him to have his own personal forum and say whatever he wants and completely deny any criticism, just exactly like how you would see in today's politics, like in the media and whatnot, like how different sides of media will basically allow their, whatever side they're promoting, the opportunity for their candidate or whoever to have an open, complete platform to just spout all their bullshit, all their lies, and they'll only ask them like softball puff questions where they can just knock them out of the park. And that's the same thing what's going on over here. It's like Atari Age has become CNN, you know, where they just and you have to, I mean, and Fox News does the same shit. You know, I don't think they do it quite to the same extent, because Fox will allow some dissent. I mean, they still do have other liberals coming on there and offer them more of a platform than I feel like CNN does. CNN doesn't seem to do it at all. But that's who Atari Age has seemed to have become, is your just mainstream media who is giving Tommy the opportunity to do whatever he wants, and it's destroyed their credibility in a lot of these people's minds, and I don't think that they'll ever probably be able to come back from this. I mean, it's just, this whole thing has been destructive for so many people, you know, like if you're not willing to ask questions and completely just shill for this company, like, it's fucking you up, man. Like, I mean, it seems to be doing it to some of these YouTubers, and, you know, maybe they can turn it around and gain some credibility back by going back to their roots. That's what Retro Bro's trying to do, but I don't know, man. I think they've probably lost a lot of their audience due to the fact that it just seems like they were doing a lot of shilling. And I feel like probably the same thing's going on at Atari Age. But, so, I'm not going to go really into it. Tommy does answer. No, the guy goes back and answers all of the questions that Tommy said, and it's pretty funny. I didn't write it all down, and I'm not going to read them. Also, go read them. They're kind of funny. Like, he did, like he said something like it was funny about the Crayola video. He's like, well, basically the Crayola video was people that you picked to be on the video, so yeah, it was good for you. And of course Tommy responds in his typical fashion to all these, the way that he responds, and he's like, we didn't pick people to come to the, and he says at the event, like he changes it from video to the event. Like he was asking about the video. The guy said that, yeah, you picked basically people to be on the video, but Tommy has to change it to, well, the event was open to everyone, so everyone was there. And then the guy actually comes back and he's like, we're not talking about the event, we're talking about the video. And that's the shit, that's the thing that everybody has picked up on, the little fucking twisting of details, just like they do in politics. Little things like that to try to make your argument sound better. Like, yeah, Tommy, he wasn't talking about the event. Yes, you didn't have total control of who came and played your system, but you did have control over who you put in the video. That's what the guy was talking about. And it's so fucking annoying to me to hear people do this kind of shit. It's worth going over there and looking at this stuff, you know, like if you really care enough to, because you want to follow it, and because there's not going to be a whole lot more drama and stuff going on YouTube to really talk about. Like the stuff is that if you're going to talk about Amico, you're going to have to go to Reddit. You know, like you're going to have to go check out Atari Age. I mean, that's where the shit's happening right now. And you know, I might start doing this a little bit, like talking about stuff I see on Reddit, because that's where if we're going to talk Amico, that's where this shit is right now. So Lasorius responds, and this is a good response. And he says, frankly, I'm starting to think that you are using this labeling just to evade direct questions like what 80% of back end means. And the irony is that I actually already accepted that I would never hear an answer from you. And I was getting more positive about this thread because of some of the other members of the community. And then you strike again. And that's what it is right here in a nutshell, man. Like that's exactly where this bullshit is being called out. The guy simply asked a question like, why can't you just tell us what 80% means? Because everyone fucking who has a brain and isn't completely bought into this cult bullshit realizes that when you say 80% of the back end is finished, literally fucking means nothing. What does it mean? So what have you finished? You know, like what are you still working on? Like break it down. What's the minutia? You know, like that's a fair question. And instead of answering that question because you realize that you've been called on your bullshit, you just switch to attack mode. Like, he's a hater. Like, do you condemn this? Do you condemn that? And that's and to go back to what politics is, like, let's say if somebody criticizes Joe Biden right now, they will immediately go, well, Trump did this and Trump did that. Did you say that about Trump? And the same thing happens with the right. The same thing does. You know, it's like when people criticize Trump, they will go, well, what about Obama? Did you say that about Obama? You know, and it's the same, you know, and I try to stay neutral on a lot of that stuff, but I will admit that some of my stuff does lean to the right a little bit, but I do have some things that, there are things about the left that I like too, like more of the social shit, you know, like whatever. People should just be allowed to do whatever they want and date whoever they want and say whatever they want and be whoever they want. But whatever, we're not talking about fucking politics in this video. We're talking about juicy Amico shit. But that's what it is, you know, and that's where this whole thing has really become a big fucking deal. People are tired of being attacked, and people are tired of not being able to ask questions and just having it shoved back in their face. And that's like Tommy's go-to right now is haters. And it's like it just gives him an opportunity to not have to answer any fucking questions. And it's stupid, and everybody's caught on to it, and the game is over. You know, it's like it's obvious because, you know, the pre-orders are dropping. I mean, at one time they said that there was like 12,000 actual pre-orders, and now the last time I heard it was down to 6. So like half of that shit is gone, and yet here you are still in these forums like acting like a douche that literally is the reason that you are losing pre-orders. And they don't understand that. Like, he can't understand that. He's always going to blame that there is like this bullshit, like concerted effort, like we're teaming up and we're on the phone with each other, like talking, like, what are we gonna make our video about this week, or what are we gonna do? It's literally just people that see things and read things and are questioning it because it's like, this doesn't jive, man. Like, this doesn't sound like it's 100% on the level. And unfortunately for you, Amico, there's plenty of places for people to post their opinions now that we have the internet. It wasn't like it was 20, 30 years ago when all you had to have access to a TV channel. Like, maybe you could go on those, all access TV or whatever the fuck it was, like I can't think of what it was, but like what Wayne's World had. Like, that would be your only avenue to have a public forum to talk about it. But sorry, we got these public forums now, so people can say things and be like, doesn't sound right, like, let's talk about it. So, and then you just continue to not be able to accept criticism and blow up and act like this, and it's so obvious that try to attack and not answer a question that seems obvious. Like, yeah, man, what have you done on the back end? Where the fuck is the UI? What does the UI look like? Let's see some more gameplay footage, which they're claiming they're going to release some, so we'll see. Another post that I noticed, we'll just go over a couple other posts here before we wrap up, but there's another Reddit user that named Paraclaw, which that guy's always posting. He's posted a lot of good stuff. He asks, the controller was promoted as including a speaker and a microphone. Has anyone seen these features demonstrated? And then you can go through and read the comments. I'm not going to go through that, but people are having a conversation about it because, yeah, like, I haven't heard anything about that. I mean, is that more lies? I mean, was that told to investors? You know, is that still being touted as a thing, like microphone and speaker and stuff? Like, I haven't seen that stuff being shown because we're not allowed to see anything. These are fair questions that should be answered, but you know, they won't answer them because it's hater behavior. And then we had the stuff. This was something else I was going to talk about, like that I saw people saying, like, they had to remove the Crayola and the Amazon partnership lies on the Fundable page. Like, they were saying that they had a partnership with Amazon, which you're not allowed to fucking say that if you're just selling products on Amazon. And the whole Crayola thing, like, they're not partners with Crayola. Like, Crayola just allowed you to come and set up, you know, and it's like they're going to claim that all of a sudden we have a partnership. And Ian from the CU podcast said something really funny that sums it up. He said that Tommy's the kind of person who would think a sex worker is in love with him. I'm sorry. Like, that's so funny, you know. It's like the kind of person that tips really big at a Hooters restaurant because you think that the girl actually likes you. In, like, Tommy's mind, it's like, we're all partners with these people that they've had, like, some, like, what do you do, rent out a space to go have a thing at Crayola? Or maybe I don't know, maybe they had some kind of an agreement where it's like, we'll let you set up if you give us some positive feedback. But obviously it wasn't anything like that because they had to take it down. Like, Crayola's like, get that shit out of here, man. We're not part of your bullshit. You know, and Amazon too, it's like, just because you talk to somebody or whatever doesn't mean all of a sudden you're butt buddies and you can put them down as a partner. It just makes me wonder what other things that they say they're partners with that those companies just haven't bothered to check into it. They just don't fucking care enough. No, talking about the CU podcast, I guess they mentioned that the Amico is going to have their dumb road show, and they may have posted this on Reddit, I just didn't notice it, but it's going to LA and Salt Lake City, and then of course other select cities will be announced. Like, that's got to be this bullshit secret. Like, they can't just say whatever cities they're going to be. You know, it's like, I'm hoping to God that they come here near me, and because I'll be there and I'll film and I don't give a fuck. I'm not afraid of Turbo Joe's security. Like, I'll go in there. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. You can't tell me where I can't fucking go. It's a free country. So I'm hoping that maybe they come around near me. But back to something else that I saw on, this is kind of funny, on Reddit. There was an article that was done by Game Pro Italy, a fluff piece about the Amico, and it's a funny read. Like, you need to read it if you want some ultimate cringe. There's like a few grammatical errors in that, so it's obviously like not that big of a fucking place. I mean, they can't even like produce an article without errors in it. But here's the catch at the top, the headline, the whatever you call it, that grabs you at the top. It says, despite several postponements, the family-friendly console by Tommy Tallarica, the rock star of gaming, is still an ambitious and courageous project. We talk about it with the protagonist. And it's basically, as you can imagine, like, it's worth a read. Like, it's basically like freaking a jerk-off piece for, you know, for Tommy. And they even talk about, because it's Italy, it's like, so you called it Amico, like, that's cool, man. And Tommy, of course, I have all my grandparents were born in Italy, so they're basically just an Italian setup thing where they're just scratching each other's back and rubbing each other's balls, whatever. But it's funny. And then a couple things in there, they still have the October 10th release date in the article. And one other thing I noticed that was not true was they're saying that you can connect 8 controllers up to the Amico, which I remember during the John Alvarado interviews, he even said it himself that you can't do that. They're not going to be able to do that. I think you could maybe do 4, and the rest would have to be phones, which is it's just more lies. It's more bullshit. It's more deception. Like, get the fucking story straight, and it's just more crap. So it's like I've been saying. It's like yeah, the YouTube cults they're done for now, but they will be back. We all know they'll be back. They're gonna, if something comes along that's half decent in television, they'll be right back in there to jump in and start this war back up again. But like I said, it's being done. There's still plenty of juicy bullshit going on Reddit and the Atari age, and that's where if you are addicted to this story like I am, that's where you want to go and read about it. And that's what's so funny, like about all of it. It's like they just want to sit there and try to pretend like that we're totally obsessed with the Amico and hating on the Amico. It's like, nah, dude, I have my life, I have my family. Like, I go out and go to yard sales, and I have my job and my own thing. It's like literally the Amico is like 0.01% of my life. It's like, okay, I might come out every now and then and make a video lying in my hammock and upload it to YouTube, but I'm sorry, man, like, I'm not obsessed with your console like you think I am. Just say haters are just sitting there like typing away and digging and finding all these things. Like, nah, man, like, it's something that's kind of funny, and we read your bullshit and we'll post something online for everyone to read, and then we all go back to our lives. Like, you're the one that's letting everyone live rent free in your head, man. Like, you're obviously the one that's obsessed, and it's like that's what's funny about it. But yeah, go check out Reddit, go check out Atari Age. You probably won't be able to post much on Atari Age. You'll get booted, but it's still funny to read the juicy shilling. And yeah, next week I'll make another video, go back, and I'm sure there'll be some funny things that we can look up and talk about on that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Later.